Hi, I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach, and this is the Organize Your Life podcast. In every podcast, I'll talk about an organizing, decluttering, productivity, or time management concept, and I'll tell you why it's important. I'll include an action step at the end so you can start practicing right away, all in just 5 minutes. My specialty is chunking down these big topics so they aren't overwhelming. That's the concept for the podcast, too. I'm now done with the material from my first book, 52 Simple Ways to Get Organized. If you want the book, you can find it on my website or on Amazon. And you can view the show notes for this podcast on my blog. If you have questions or would like me to talk about a particular topic, just shoot me an email at claire@cluttercoach.net. I would love to hear from you. Keep in touch by getting on my mailing list. It's under the Free Stuff tab on my website, cluttercoach.net. Okay, here we go. This is podcast 118, and it's about what to do when you're overwhelmed. Sometimes just do it, the subject of my previous podcast, isn't going to work. There are days when stressful situations pile up to the point where you really can't function, or you can see that you're operating way below normal and really not getting anything done. Overwhelm can come from work, your personal life, the world, anywhere. Usually it's a combination of those things. If you have several big things going on at work, you can get relief at home, where things are orderly and calm. If a relationship issue is stressing you out, diving into work can be a blessing. Then there are those times when a challenging situation with a colleague is compounded with a cold that won't go away, depressing headlines in the newspaper, and the dog next door that prevented you from sleeping later than 5 o'clock in the morning. Here's a little sidebar on that. I just listened to a TED Talk by Kelly McGonigal, who I've talked about before because she wrote this great book called The Willpower Instinct. Anyway, this talk was about how stress can be good for you. She has another book called The Upside of Stress. In the talk, she mentions a study that showed that the connection between higher risk of death and stress was actually a connection between higher risk of death and the belief that stress is harmful. Now that's pretty trippy. That knowledge alone can help reduce your stress, though. Realize that your body responds to stress in ways that actually help you get through it rather than harming you. And here's some more ideas with how to deal with this kind of overwhelm. Find a way to distract yourself. When you're at that point where you're no longer contributing, then switch gears. Do something completely different. At the very least, get into motion. I don't know about you, but I used to think it was cheating to seek out distractions. Shouldn't I just keep sitting here and powering through? Gritting my teeth and sticking with it until the thing was done? Stopping felt like giving up. Failing even. But no, it's not true. Physical activity of any kind is a great distraction from mental or emotional overwhelm. It directs some or all of your attention to your physical body, attention that is now diverted away from the stressful situation. Even a few minutes of mindful breathing, just paying attention to your breath, not breathing in any particular way, will help. That derailment is what we're looking for. However, the more demanding the physical activity, the better, because it will occupy more of your attention. A book or a movie or a TV show that really absorbs you will work too. Ones that take you completely into their world so that you completely forget about the stressful situation. Here are some more really specific ideas. Experience nature. Either walk in the park or have a plant or cut flowers to gaze at. Meditate. Close your eyes and do a 1-minute body scan. That's all you need. Reach out. Call or text someone. Ask how they are, if they know any good jokes, rather than spending the time talking about your stress. Remember, derailment. Write it out. I am a huge fan of journaling. Putting thoughts into words and recording them forces me to make my thoughts somewhat coherent, and that's less stressful than the chaotic jumble they feel like in my mind. Shift to a different task. Even if you've run out of steam, you may be able to knock off a less important task and get a boost from checking that thing off your list. I suggest keeping a list of overwhelm busters handy, a list on your phone or in Evernote, even a Post-it where you'll see it often. It's great to have a collection of go-to ideas to relieve stress, but it's just as important to train yourself to recognize when you're getting overwhelmed. In fact, take that a step further and use all these ideas regularly, no matter how you feel. They are all great ways to maintain your emotional and mental health, not just get it back when overwhelm overtakes you. Here's what you can do right now. Start making that list. Tailor it to yourself and your lifestyle. If you have a backyard, that can be your nature option. If you have an upbeat person in your life who's always happy to hear from you, that person can be your reach out option. Hey, thanks for listening. I'm Claire Tompkins, the Clutter Coach. If you like the show, I'd love it if you'd leave a rating and review in iTunes. You can subscribe too, so the podcast will be ready and waiting for you to listen to it. The show is available on SoundCloud and Stitcher as well. And you'll find the show notes on my blog at www.cluttercoach.net. And again, please come visit me on livecoach.io and get that gift certificate while the offer lasts. LiveCoach offers a money-back guarantee after your first month, so there's no risk. See you next time.